Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Eala gets early boot in Birmingham tilt. Filipino tennis sensation Alex Eala suffered early elimination at the Birmingham Classic singles and doubles events in the United Kingdom. Eala first got the early boot in the doubles division when she and Swiss partner Rebeka Masarova fell to the second-seeded Aussie tandem of Ellen Perez and Storm Hunter, 6-4, 6-4, in the first round Tuesday. The 20-year-old then succumbed to world no. 152 Linda Fruvertov, 5-7, 6-7-7, 1-6, Wednesday midnight, ranked 73rd in the world. Eala engaged Fruvertov in a competitive first two sets before losing steam in the final frame. Fruvertov, who is also 20 years old, banked on her strong service game as she scored 10 aces against Eala's 4. The Czech netter won 12 service games compared to Eala's 4. She proved to be good in her breaking game too, as she topped Eala in breakpoints, 7-4. Eala therefore absorbed 3 consecutive first-round exits, with the first one being a 0-6, 6-2, 3-6 defeat to Colombian Emiliana Arango in her Grand Slam debut at the Roland Garros 2 weeks ago. In the doubles division of the tournament, Eala and Mexican partner Renata Zarazua bowed to the Serbian pair of Olga Danilovic and Anastasia Potapova, 1-6, 3-6 in the second round. Rain pattered softly on the canvas above the practice courts. The gray skies of Birmingham hung low, as if burdened by the weight of yet another summer that refused to smile. In the distance, center court was waking up. Rumblings of ball boys shuffling, groundskeepers adjusting lines, vendors preparing paper cups of tea. But for Alex Eala, the day had already taken a sharp turn. She sat at the edge of the bench, racket limp in her lap, sweat and drizzle congealing on her brow. Her coach Donna crouched beside her, murmuring something she barely heard. Her head throbbed, not from exhaustion, but from disbelief. Just 2 sets, just 93 minutes, and it was over. And early boot. First round. Gone. The build-up. Alex Eala was no stranger to pressure. At 20, she had already carried the hopes of a nation too familiar with boxing, basketball, and pageantry, but rarely tennis. In Manila, her posters still hung in malls, sun-faded and smiling, Asia's tennis gem. At Roland Garros, she had once reached the quarterfinals. At Wimbledon Juniors, she had shocked a top seed. The talent was never the question. But recently, the flame had flickered. Leading into the Birmingham tournament, a key grass warm-up ahead of Wimbledon, Alex had felt something strange. Not nerves, not fatigue, something more insidious. Doubt. Her last match had ended in a meltdown, double faulting away a tiebreak. Twitter had theories. Reddit was brutal. Her mother, back in Quezon City, had texted prayers. Her younger brother sent her a meme to lighten the mood. A cartoon duck crying in a puddle labeled unforced errors. Still, arriving in Birmingham, she had tried to reset. Grass wasn't her strongest surface, but she'd spent 3 weeks training at Roehampton, sliding awkwardly, changing rackets, even adjusting her serve toss. The press had eyes on her. Filipino phenom, eager to make her mark. The match. The draw had been both cruel and ironic. Victoria Sabrenko, a rising jet powerhouse with a 120 miles per hour serve and zero emotional expression. She played like a machine, hit like a freight train, and treated grass like it was home turf. Eala started tight. Her legs felt wooden. Her serve lacked pop. A few baseline rallies gave her hope, but soon she was chasing winners. Down 2-6 in the first, Dana gave calm advice. Shorten the points. Use your angles. Mix it up. She tried, but the errors kept creeping in, like termites in the walls. Backhands floated. Volleys sprayed. Her timing was half a breath late, and that's all it took. The second set was tighter, but a critical break at 4-4 sealed it. 6-2, 6-4. Handshake. Numb nod. Exit. The crowd had clapped politely. A few Filipino fans waved flags, still cheering, still smiling. She felt like she'd failed them all. Backstage. You're not defined by this, Dana said, packing up Alex's kit. One match doesn't undo your progress. But Alex wasn't ready for coaching wisdom. She needed air. She slipped away, hoodie up, headphones on, walking through the corridors of the arena like a ghost. The players' lounge buzz. Someone laughed behind a closed door. Somewhere, a journalist mentioned her name. She didn't listen. She kept walking. Outside, the rain had stopped, but the grass still glistened. She sat by an empty side court where junior players often trained. That's where she saw her. A little girl, maybe 9 or 10, hitting balls against a wall, skinny arms, ponytail, worn sneakers. Alex watched for a moment. The girl's strokes were wild, erratic, but full of passion. She grunted after each swing, mimicking pros. After a missed shot, she yelled, "Come on, Alex," and tried again. Alex blinked. "Excuse me," she called out. The girl turned, startled. Then her eyes widened. You're Eala," Alex nodded, smiling faintly. "That's me." The girl ran over. "You're my favorite. I saw your match." Alex winced. "Sorry about that." The girl shook her head. Emphatic. "No, you played amazing. I mean, you lost. But still, you tried so hard, and your drop shots are cool." Alex laughed. For the first time that day, the ache in her chest softened. "What's your name?" "Amara." "Well, Amara, you've got a mean forehand. But I think you're hitting too close to the wall. Give yourself more space." Amara beamed. "Can you show me?" And just like that, Alex spent the next half hour feeding balls, offering tips, and feeling like herself again. Not the athlete who lost, not the disappointment, but the girl who loved the game. Reflection. That evening, back in the hotel, Alex sat by the window overlooking the misty Birmingham skyline. Her phone buzzed with a dozen messages, from media, from sponsors, from friends back home. She ignored them. Instead, she opened her journal, a habit she'd started during the COVID lockdowns. Blank page, pen in hand. She wrote, June 5, Birmingham. Lost first round. Again. The grass is still my enemy. Sabrenko played like a wall. I felt like a tourist on court. Feet slow, timing off. Everything rushed. I let myself spiral a bit. But I met a kid today, Amara. She reminded me why I started. Why I'd still play. Not for headlines or rankings, but because I love this weird, frustrating, beautiful game. I've lost before. I'll lose again. But I'm not done. Not even close. She closed the notebook. Took a deep breath. Tomorrow, she'd wake up early, hit the gym, do some mobility drills, start the cycle again. Because tennis, like life, isn't just about the wins. It's about showing up after the losses. 3 weeks later, Wimbledon qualifiers. Roehampton. The grass still felt foreign, like a second language she could understand but not speak fluently, but she was getting better. First round. Win. Second round. Tough 3-setter. Victory. Final round. Nerves. Sweat. A 7-5 third set sealed it. She was in the main draw. Back home. Headlines screamed, Eala roars back. But Alex didn't celebrate long. There were more matches to play. More demons to silence. More girls like Amara to inspire. One early boot didn't define her. What mattered was that she kept lacing up her shoes and kept walking forward. The drizzle had started just as Alex Eala stepped onto the grass court at Birmingham. Not heavy enough to delay the match, but enough to gloss the green blades underfoot, turning every step into a calculated risk. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Not this early. Not here. Birmingham was supposed to be the beginning of her Wimbledon run. The confidence builder. A smaller draw, fewer top seeds. A place where she could test her game on grass and show the world that her name was more than just a rising headline from Southeast Asia. But after 64 minutes on court 5, she was already packing her bag. An early boot. Straight sets. Barely a whimper. She didn't even wait for the locker room. Alex found an empty corridor near the back entrance of Edgbaston Priory Club, slumped against the cold brick, and pressed her fists to her eyes. She wasn't crying. Not really. Just frustrated. Tired. Drenched in the quiet disappointment of a match that never even ignited. Her phone buzzed in her bag. Probably Coach Martin. Or her mother. Or the Filipino press, wanting a quote. She didn't answer. She scrolled through Twitter instead. An impulsive act of self-sabotage. Eala out in 1R of Birmingham. Her grass game still a work in progress. Young star stumbles again. When will consistency come? A sting. Not unexpected, but still sharp. Another buzz. A message from her dad, just a simple, keep your chin up. It's just a chapter, not the book. She almost smiled. Almost. The hotel was quiet that evening, the kind of muted stillness that comes with shared loss. Several players had bowed out in early rounds. The lobby cafe felt like a wake. Murmurs and polite nods between those who had dreamt too much and prepared too little. She spotted Petra, a doubles veteran, lounging with a glass of wine and a book of poetry. "Grass eats rookies alive," Petra said without looking up. "Don't take it personally." Alex smirked, sliding into the seat across from her. "I thought I had a better grip this time." "Literally." "You didn't fall. That's something." "I fell. Twice." Petra laughed softly. "Even better. You were initiated." They sat for a while in companionable silence. Eventually, Petra closed her book and said, "You got a hard game. It's sharp, angular, aggressive. Great for hard court, maybe even clay, but grass wants charm. Soft hands. The ability to flirt with the court." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Flirt?" Petra nodded. "Grass doesn't want to be bullied. You try to dominate, she'll throw you out on your ass. But tease her, make her feel special. She might just let you win." That night, Alex lay in bed thinking about her game. Her service motion, the way her backhand screamed across baseline corners. She thought about how she hated slicing, hated moonballs, hated cute tennis. But maybe the court didn't care what she hated. Back home in Manila a few weeks later, the monsoon rains came. Thunder cracked over her neighborhood like applause gone wrong. She trained indoors at the National Center, her rhythm broken by a dozen kids asking for selfies between drills. "You're still the pride," Coach Martin told her. "But pride needs pruning." She looked up. That's some old Chinese proverb. Filipino, just less famous. They trained with green balls, slower ones, to mimic grass tempo. She worked on her slice, her drop shot, her volleys, all the things she used to avoid. "Pretend the ball's your crush," Coach joked once. "No slamming. Court it. Make it curious." She hated how much that helped. Wimbledon qualifiers came fast. She made it through 2 rounds, then lost in the third. Close. A tie break. Respectable. But not enough. Still, something had shifted. She walked off the court not shattered, but stirred. A year later, Birmingham again. She didn't check Twitter this time. She didn't scroll headlines or search her name. Her rackets were strung tighter, her grip re-wrapped thrice, her playlist softer. More LA&Y, less Kendrick. She stepped on the same court 5, familiar drizzle. But this time, she won in 3. Not by domination, by persuasion. Drop shot here, slice there, a body serve, a net rush, grass flirtation. She walked off to polite applause, and 2 damn ball kids offering her towels like medals. In the press conference, someone asked, "What changed?" She shrugged. "I stopped fighting the court, started talking to it." They laughed. She didn't mean it as a joke. The early boot in Birmingham had become folklore in her own journey. A moment of pause, not failure. A reminder that sometimes the exit is an entrance.